All right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. Let me run you through the news-making headlines around you and events happening as we speak. So the State Department of Mining in the Ministry of Petroleum and Mining is conducting a public participation forum in Kwale County to engage members of the public on the 5 draft bills prepared by the ministry meant to be used in the mining sector. Nikki Gitonga joins us live from Kwale. Nikki, good morning. It's good to see you there. What are the concerns of the people in regards to the mining sector as we speak?
Well, thank you, Trevor. As you can see, the meeting is just about to start, and this is a public participation forum that has been organized by the State Department for Mining in the Ministry of Petroleum and Mining, basically just to collect views concerning the draft bills that they have prepared to ensure maybe in one way or the other to improve the services in the mining sector. Bearing in mind that in Kwale County, Kwale is a key stakeholder as far as mining is concerned, with base titanium being here carrying out mining activity from titanium minerals. And in one or the other, the locals here have been complaining that they were not fully fairly compensated by the company, and maybe this could be the reason why the ministry is here to collect their views. And there are several draft bills that the Ministry of Mining wants to collect views from the members of the public just to see how it's going to fare out. Among those draft bills, one of them is the draft strategy plan of 2018-2022, Gender Strategic Action Plan, Kenya National Mining Institute Bill, Community Development Agreement Guideline, Model Community Development Agreement, and Draft Mining Regulation of 2019. Those are the draft bills that the Ministry of Mining is going to engage the members of the public to give out their views. Remember, in the provision of the Kenyan Constitution, Article 10, any project before it's initiated, members of the community or any community members are supposed to be engaged to give out their views, because in one or the other they're going to be affected. With me is Dr. John Nyangena, an economist in the office of at the State Department of Mining, to shed more light concerning today's public participation. What should we expect, Daktari, from today's forum?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what we are looking for is the input from the stakeholders in Kwale County on the drafts that the minister has prepared, so that we are able to ensure that the documents at the end of the day have captured the aspirations and some of their input, so that when we finalize these documents, their concerns could have already been taken on board.
And I know it's not only here in Kwale. You'll be going almost to 17 counties. Is it that those are the counties that are affected by mining activity, or what could be the reason conducting public participation in 17 counties, and we know we have over 47 counties?
Yeah, you know what's happening here. Okay, we could have wished to capture to be in every county, but I think it's not practical. But you know, this process is a national process. So the 17 counties are the ones where there is a concentration of mining activities, where there are ongoing activities, and where we think the stakeholders could be very useful in providing the input into the drafts. But still, we are inviting all the entire public, because these documents are in the website. Whoever feels he has an input and into the end of the documents can do so, go to the website, download them, and then they can give their input to us.
Who prepared those draft bills?
Yes, as a State Department, we initiated the drafts. The staff at the ministry, because that's where we have the expertise, and our mandate is actually to provide the leadership in coming up with these documents. So we drafted them, but now we want to seek the opinion of the stakeholders.
So maybe my last question. We know that especially here in Kwale County, issues to do with mining is a very sensitive issue because in the recent past, people have been complaining that they were not fairly compensated. Maybe they were relocated to places where there are already people staying there. So how different will it be if these bills come into law?
Well, you see, mining is an evolving sector. Yeah? Actually, it's one of the sectors which is growing quite fast in this country. So what we are trying to do, when the Mining Act was enacted, there was a number of regulations which were supposed to be put in place to fully operationalize the act. So some of these regulations, like the CDA, Community Development Agreement Regulation, is a regulation. The guidelines which we are presenting here are aimed at ensuring that there is harmony, coexistence between the mining order, the license order, and also the communities. So we want to look at how do we improve that cohabitation of the two parties. Then the local equity regulation is also trying to ensure that the stakeholders can have a stake even in the best titanium itself, so that they have some shares in the company. So that's one of the ways in which we are trying to improve the coexistence of the company and the local communities.
There have been complaints, especially in the committee, or that's CDA, yes. Committee on Development Agreement. I mean, where there's a committee, people decide on what to say, yes, CDA committee, yes. Or how people are supposed to be paid, maybe, and how the CSR cash, how funds are going to be distributed. Mm-hmm. People are complaining that the committee members, most of them are being picked from the politicians' relatives, yeah. And maybe the community itself is not fully involved in the process of picking those committee members.
Yes, actually the guideline that we have put in place, we have tried to specify and clarify on the selection of the committee itself, their functions, and the code of conduct. So, because this committee is provided for in the Act, so now the issue where how do we ensure that we implemented that provision in the Act in a very smooth way. So the guideline, once it is fully adopted, we are going to get their views. How could they want these committee members to be elected? So the guideline is very clear that if there are various members, like for a women representative, this women representative will be elected by women themselves. If there is a person with a disability, then that constituents should be able to elect the person as a group. And by doing so, I think we should ensure that there is some level of representation and satisfaction.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. That's Dr. John Nyangena, an economist at the State Department of Mining, saying that the draft bills that were prepared by the Ministry of Mining will ensure that there is equity when it comes to the mining sector, especially those areas where they are affected by mining activities. Later on, I'll also be speaking to some of the locals that were affected by mining activities in Kwale County and some of the key stakeholders as to what is their feel concerning the draft bills that have been prepared or that were prepared by the Ministry of Mining. That's all I have for now. Back to you in studio.